Hey everyone, I'm Flo and we're all about simple food, simple faith. Today I wanted to give you some basics on how you can keep your pantry stocked so that it would help you to feed your family well and to save money. My great-grandparents immigrated to Canada from southern China, from Guangdong province, and the home-style meals I grew up eating were light and tasty and not necessarily heavy or intensely flavored. Hopefully, by showing what I keep in my pantry and the fridge, it will help you also get started with basic home-style Chinese cooking. You'll find the links to most of the products down below in the description, but of course I always recommend, if you can, buy it from your local Asian market. I remember listening to my grandmother teach me how to cook by not actually letting me do it, but just giving me the ingredients. So she would say, a little bit of oil, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of oyster sauce, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of sugar. That went into everything. I've added a couple of additional ingredients that I think helps to elevate the dishes a little bit, but let's just start with the soy sauce. This is light soy sauce, and it's basically in most of my recipes, if not all of them, especially the Chinese ones. Just want to show you the color of the soy sauce. I guess that's why it's called light soy sauce compared to the dark soy sauce. Now, the dark soy sauce is, well, darker, thicker, more syrupy. It has a deeper flavor than the regular soy sauce. It's a little bit sweeter, and it adds a depth of flavor that the light soy sauce isn't going to give you, and it also adds some color. The other sauce I like to use a lot of is oyster sauce. So oyster sauce is way thicker, and it's got a completely different flavor altogether. It doesn't necessarily taste like oyster. It's a little bit sweet. We often use it as a condiment for blanched green vegetables. And it's a good condiment for eggs as well, but I do like to add it to a lot of my recipes because it does also add a depth of flavor that you're not going to get by just using soy sauce. If you're allergic to shellfish or you don't like oyster sauce, again, it doesn't taste like oysters. There are vegan versions of oyster sauce that are made with mushrooms. By adjusting the portion of each of those sauces, it can alter the taste and flavor of the dish you're making. My mom taught me to use cooking wine to help get rid of the chicken smell from raw chicken. And so I like to use rice wine. I've got two here. I generally like to use the clear one, which is more neutral. And the darker one is Shaoxing wine, which is more aromatic and fragrant. So it just depends on my mood, what I want to taste. Both of these cooking wines can be found in the grocery section of your supermarkets. They are not necessarily sold in where you can buy alcohol. I also use cooking wine to enhance the flavor of the dish that I'm making. But if you don't want to go out and purchase a bottle of cooking wine, you can always use sherry. We've been known to use bourbon or whiskey, just a little bit of alcohol to help with the flavoring of the dish. And when you're cooking it, the alcohol burns right off. Moving on to cooking oils, I have been using avocado oil lately. It is neutral in a flavor and it has a high smoke point. If you wanted to use corn oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil, those are all good options for a neutral oil with a high smoke point. I don't necessarily recommend olive oil for Chinese cooking because we cook at a higher heat and olive oil does have a bit of a flavor to it. I also like to use a bit of sesame oil to enhance the flavor. So what I do is I buy a giant container of sesame oil. It's roasted sesame oil, and I just fill up my little bottle. Sesame oil should always be added at the end of cooking so that you can actually taste the flavor of the sesame oil. If you add it in with the cooking oil at the beginning, what happens is that sesame flavor will burn off, and then there's no point of adding that sesame oil. I try to buy my oils in larger containers because It's cost saving for me. This will last a couple of years, and I do the same with my avocado oil. Next, we're going to talk about cornstarch. Now, we use cornstarch to thicken our sauces. It gives it a glossy look, and it's kind of transparent as opposed to, say, flour. Flour makes your sauce or gravy opaque. Cornstarch will just thicken and give it a nice gloss. And cornstarch needs to be dissolved in room temperature or cold water, never in hot water. Otherwise, it'll just become a gloopy mess. A substitute for cornstarch, you can use potato starch or arrowroot, something like that, that will thicken up your sauces. For aromatics, I always have some onion, garlic, ginger, and green onions in my pantry. With the ginger, I like to buy them when they have like more little knobs on them because I only want a little bit. And so that's helpful for me. But of course I can always just cut it up into a section. And green onions are great because I can grow them in my garden. In the wintertime, if I don't want to go outside, what I often do is just use up to this amount, and then I just stick the ends in water and they grow right back. I also like to keep a selection of noodles at home. These ones are thin wheat noodles, and we prefer the thin ones, but they come in different widths. Like there's a medium one, there's a wide one, but I like the thin ones, so that's what we have. But dude likes egg noodles, so I do have a supply of egg noodles for him. It's kind of like instant ramen, actually. They cook about the same amount of time. Both the thin noodles and these egg noodles only take about 3 minutes to cook in boiling water. If you wanted to, you can just use the instant noodles in those instant noodle packages without using the flavor pack that comes with it, and you can just use that as your starch. We eat a lot of rice. This bag, 40 pounds, will probably last us 3 to 4 months. It is a long grain jasmine rice. People ask me all the time what kind of rice I use for making fried rice, and this is the rice we eat with Chinese food. Surprisingly, this is not a lot of rice. When we compare to other Asian families, we actually don't eat that much rice because I cook a lot of other things. One preserved meat that I absolutely love to have at home is Chinese sausage, lap chow. This is perfect for fried rice, and I like it way more than Spam, which apparently is the favorite amongst the rest of the family members. I prefer the fattier pork sausage versus there's one that is chicken and pork, which is more lean. I just find the texture and the flavor that comes from the pork sausage is just so much tastier. I face the same challenge that you face every single day, and that's trying to figure out what's for dinner. By keeping your pantry well-stocked, you can make delicious Cantonese home-style meals at home, not necessarily restaurant quality, but it will still feed your family well and help you save money. For simple Chinese recipes, check out my website, FLO'S.com.